I didn't ask her to stay, not because I didn't feel it, but because I believed love should never be begged for. So I let her go. No pleading, no tears, not a single word to stop her. When she walked out that night, I convinced myself it was over. I told myself she had already chosen a life without me. I told myself she had moved on. For 3 years, we had been everything to each other. Laughter, fights, whispered plans, quiet doubts, late-night touches that softened the edges of the world. We weren't perfect, but we fit. Or at least, I thought we did. Then, slowly, quietly, something shifted. It wasn't dramatic. It crept in like fog, filling the spaces between us until one day, I couldn't ignore it any longer. Fewer smiles, shorter conversations, more silence than comfort. And then came the words that split me in two. I don't think I'm happy anymore. I asked if it was someone else. She said no. I asked if she hated me. Again, no. She just didn't know what she wanted. I stared at the woman I once imagined growing old beside, and all I could manage was one word. Okay. Friends told me I should have fought harder, given her a reason to stay. But how do you convince someone to love you when their heart is already elsewhere? So I didn't chase, didn't call, didn't beg. I gave her the freedom she said she needed, even though it hollowed me out inside. She vanished like she had never existed. No updates, no whispers through friends, no traces online. I learned to live with her absence. I buried myself in work, forced new routines, sat across from a therapist, and tried to untangle the ache. It helped, just enough to keep me upright. But some nights were unbearable. Some nights I stared at her name on my phone, fingers hovering over send, knowing I wasn't the one who left. I wouldn't crawl back. Then came the night that changed everything. Rain slammed against the windows, drowning out the city, while a movie played faintly in the background. A knock, soft, deliberate. 3 taps. I thought it was a package, a neighbor, maybe a delivery. But when I opened the door, time stopped. She stood there, drenched, trembling, hair plastered her face, eyes swollen and red from crying. She didn't speak. She didn't have to. My chest knew before my mind did. Something inside her had broken. I stepped aside and she came in. Silence filled the room, heavy as it had the night she left. I handed her a towel, and her fingers shook as she took it. Finally, her voice broke the quiet. I thought leaving was the right choice. I thought walking away would give me clarity, help me figure out what I really needed. She paused, swallowing hard. But the truth is, I was scared. I kept telling myself I didn't love you the same anymore. But I was lying. I tried to move on, but everywhere I went, there you were. From her pocket, she pulled a small photo of us laughing in the park, a day I had nearly forgotten. She held it like it was her last breath. I carry this everywhere, she whispered, because I don't know how to let go. Her tears fell in waves, uncontrolled, raw. I didn't come here to ask for another chance, she said. I just couldn't live with the silence anymore. I needed you to know, even if it's too late. I froze. Part of me had been waiting for this, waiting to hear her admit that I mattered, that losing me had hurt, that she regretted leaving. But now that it was here, I didn't know what to do with it. You were my safe place, she murmured, her voice barely above a whisper, and I flinched from it. I had thought chaos meant passion, confusion meant growth, but all it gave me was emptiness. Her eyes dropped. I was wrong, she said. We sat in silence, surrounded by the ruins of what we had been. No promises, no demands, just honesty. Somehow, that felt more real than anything in those last months together. She rose to leave, wiping her face, tucking the photo back into her pocket. Thank you for listening, she murmured. I didn't deserve it, but thank you. I didn't grab her hand. I didn't beg her to stay. I let her move toward the door. But just before she stepped out, I spoke. Next time you feel lost, don't walk away. Let me walk through it with you. She paused. Her lips parted as if to speak, but only a single tear slipped down her cheek. She nodded, then turned and disappeared into the rain. Sometimes letting go isn't surrender. Sometimes it's the only way to protect your dignity, your peace, your sense of self. And if they ever come back, it's not your duty to save them. It's your choice to listen, to decide, to protect your own heart. Because love isn't measured by the fear of losing. It's measured by respect, by presence, and by the courage to hold on without losing yourself.